here we are again. It keeps getting crazier and crazier. Hey, it didn't just happen. It didn't just happen. It's been going on for 1,400 years. In fact, it's been going on since a long time before that. Hey, the Mediterranean Sea, here you got north up in Europe, and down here you got Africa down here and up in the north. And as you're looking at, here's Italy and Greece and Spain. For 1,400 years, the Muslims here in North Africa, coming out of Arabia, conquering Egypt, going across here, attacking, doing jihad, what Islam has always done in accordance with the logo of the Muslim Brotherhood, Surah 860, to wage war, jihad, and terrorize the infidel. They've done it for 1,400 years. Okay, so they came up here and they came across the Straits of Gibraltar. They conquered Spain. They went into France. They got defeated in France in 732 AD. But it's the whole idea, fighting. The Mediterranean. Now, it's very significant. As a former Marine Corps officer, battle planner in hot kinetic combat, a lot of it in Vietnam, and then in peacetime as a battle planner for 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, I understand looking at maps and strategy and tactics and things of this nature. So here, it's fascinating. Along the north of Africa, there's hardly any forts or castles at all. The reason is, and those that were created by the Crusaders and other people like Oliver Cromwell. Here on North Africa of the Mediterranean Sea, there's hardly any fortified defenses because the people of Europe, Christendom, with the highest degree of peace, order, liberty, and prosperity, were hardly ever attacking and coming down into the Muslim strongholds. Even over here in Israel, Jerusalem, during the Crusades, they were only there for 100 years, and they were just a very small number of them. It didn't last long at all. They hardly killed anybody. They held Jerusalem for a few years, and then they were kicked out by Saladin. However, the Muslims all that time have attacked up here in Europe. Italy, Greece, you've got Spain, France, attacking all the time. So you will see castles all over this place here, indicating and proving that the Muslims were always attacking. They're attacking even now. Now today, they're attacking in a different way. Clip number 12. Let's see some attacks.
Number one and top priority is to protect and defend our communities. It is not to assimilate and to please any other people in authority. I hope that when we stand up to those who oppress our communities, that Allah accepts from us that as a form of jihad, that we are struggling against tyrants and rulers, not only abroad in the Middle East or in the other side of the world, but here in these United States of America, where you have fascists and white supremacists and Islamophobes reigning in the White House.
Linda Sarsour, now, she was marching with the women's, pardon me, but this is what they did. The women's vagina march, where they were wearing those pink vagina hats. And she was in charge. Now, she's Muslim Brotherhood. She's Muslim Brotherhood and believes in Sharia. And in the Quran, Surah 434, if a woman, a wife, won't have sex for any reason at all with her husband, he's allowed to beat her. He's allowed to beat her. Now, the next clip here, we're going to be watching and understanding. We're going to be looking at advancing peace through interfaith and harmony. It sounds good. It's like the inner struggle for jihad. That's baloney. Jihad is jihad is jihad. Jihad means war, killing people. Surah 860. Jihad means to go out, dawah, spread Islam by killing people. But now they got this thing called interfaith, and it's how they're attacking. They used to attack in the Mediterranean here, and the Mediterranean Sea, with all of the castles up in Europe to protect them from the Muslims. But now it's changed. It's gotten crazy. So because of the internet and whatnot, so now the Muslims, they lie, and they say they can advance peace through interfaith and harmony, and it's found a lot in the United Nations. And in the United Nations, you have in the Counter-Jihad report that the United Nations, I know you can't see this, but there's 57 Muslim countries. 57 Muslim countries, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the OIC, they vote in a massive block in the United Nations. they vote and they say, oh, we're advancing peace through interfaith harmony, and they're working with Saudi Arabia and all the other terrorists, the murderers, the thugs. They're all terrorists, the Saudi Arabians. Come on. You're going to find out wherever you live in America or Canada or Europe, you're going to find out very soon in the West that all of this stuff is all so that they can attack, because that's how Islam spreads itself. So during the Super Bowl, they came out with an interfaith commercial on Toyota. Oh, can't we all just get along? No, not with Islam. The only way you get along with Islam is if you become a slave or you convert or they kill you. Clip number, wait a minute, you got to watch this baloney. This stuff is so bogus, so bad, it's going to get us all killed. Clip number 13. No, 13. Oh, my God. How are we going to get through this? Okay, no problem. I came in here so fast that they didn't tell me you couldn't do clip 13. But it shows a Jewish rabbi getting ready. He wants to go to the Super Bowl, and he jumps into his car. And then he picks up a Catholic priest, and they're all going to go watch the Super Bowl. So you start with a Jewish rabbi and a Catholic priest, and then they stop and they pick up a Muslim Brotherhood imam, and the three of them all getting along. They love each other. They're harmony. They're advancing peace through interfaith harmony. They love. They're all getting along. So you start with a Jewish rabbi, then a Catholic priest, then you got a Muslim Brotherhood Muslim, and then you got a Buddhist who all get into the car. And they go to the Super Bowl, and can't we all get along? And they're getting together, and then they sit by some Catholic nuns, and they're cheering for their team. And then at the end of the commercial, it says, see, aren't we all on the same team? No, negative, no. With Islam, you are not on the same team. Clip number 2. Let's talk about this. Clip number 2.
About the father's religious practices.
He was a very devout Muslim. I know that he prayed all 5 times during the day.
So how did this immigrant success story take a bizarre and violent turn? Some believe that what happened in this 6-bedroom colonial was an extreme variation on a theme as old as humanity itself, about a family that ventures off to a new world.
What happened there with that guy, he murdered his daughter, strangled her. He didn't like what she was doing, and we've had a number of them. No, that is true Islam. If you look at Islam, what did Muhammad do? There's 22 verses in the Quran that commands Muslims to do what Muhammad did. Well, Muhammad was a murderer. He was a pedophile. He was a necrophiliac. He was screwing a dead chick in the grave. He was a pedophile with little girls and little boys. There's 3 verses in the Quran. I'll dig it up and show it on the next clip. But no, we cannot advance peace through interfaith harmony. You cannot do that unless you roll over and you lie and you say that Islam is good. Clip number 3. Let's see some of the pedophilia of Muhammad. Clip number 3.
لما كان الإمام الخميني مقيما في العراق، هو مش إمام ولا حاجة، إمام في بتوعهم، كنا نتردد إليه ونطلب منه العلم حتى صارت علاقتنا معه وثيقة جدا. وقد اتفق مرة أن وجهت إليه دعوة من مدينة تلعفر، هي اسمها تلعفر كده مظبوط؟
نعم.
طيب، وهي مدينة تقع غرب الموصل على مسيرة 1.5 ساعة تقريبا بالسيارة. فطلبني للسفر معه فسافرت معه، فاستقبلونا وأكرمونا غاية الكرم مدة بقائنا عند إحدى العوائل الشيعية المقيمة هناك. وقد قطعوا عهدا بنشر التشيع في تلك الأرجاء، وما زالوا يحتفظون بصورة تذكارية لنا تم تصويرها في دارهم. ولما انتهت مدة السفر رجعنا، وفي طريق عودتنا ومرورنا في بغداد أراد الإمام أن يرتاح من عناء السفر، فأمر بالتوجه إلى منطقة العطيفية. تتنطق كده مضبوط؟
صح.
طيب، حيث يسكن هناك رجل إيراني الأصل يقال له سيد صاحب. كانت بينه وبين الإمام معرفة قوية. وبعدين فرح سيد صاحب بمجيئنا، وكان وصولنا إليه عند الظهر، فصنع لنا غداء فاخرا، واتصل ببعض أقاربه فحضروا وازدحم منزله احتفاء بنا. وطلب سيد صاحب إلينا المبيت عنده تلك الليلة. هي دي المصيبة. وبعدين فوافق الإمام. ثم لما كان العشاء أتوا بالعشاء، وكان الحاضرون يقبلون يد الإمام ويسألونه ويجيب عن أسئلتهم. ولما حان وقت النوم دخلنا يا دكتور، دخلنا يا دكتور.
نعم.
ولما حان وقت النوم وكان الحاضرون قد انصرفوا إلا أهل الدار، أبصر الخميني صبية بعمر 4 سنوات أو 5 سنوات، لكنها جميلة جدا، فطلب الإمام من أبيها سيد صاحب إحضارها للتمتع بها. وافق أبوها بفرح بالغ، فبات الإمام الخميني والصبية في حضنه، شوف بقول إيه، ونحن نسمع بكاءها وصراخها طوال الليل. عيلة 4 سنوات، وهذا الكيت في العمر قاعد بالقوة يعاشر صبية عندها 4 سنوات، يعني من القبل والدبر، حتى البنت تبكي وتصرخ ولا رحمة في قلبه. المهم أنه أمضى تلك الليلة يا دكتور، فلما أصبح الصباح وجلسنا لنتناول الإفطار نظر إلي، وهو الصراخ كان فضيحة، نظر إلي فوجد علامات الإنكار واضحة في وجهي. صبية 4 سنين تصرخ، إذ كيف يتمتع بهذه الطفلة الصغيرة وفي الدار شابات بالغات راشدات؟ لما كان يتمتع بواحدة بالغة ولا رشيدة كان بإمكانه التمتع بإحداهن، فلم يفعل. المهم فقال لي الخميني بيقول له بقى، سيد حسين ما تقول في التمتع بالطفلة، إيش رأيك؟ قلت له سيد القول قولك، قول قولك والصواب فعلك، وأنت إمام مجتهد ولا يمكن لمثلي أن يرى أو يقول إلا ما تراه أنت أو تقوله، ومعلوم أني لا يمكن الاعتراض وقت ذاك. سيد حسين إن التمتع بها جائز، ولكن بالمداعبة والتقبيل والتفخيذ.
كتاب تحرير الوسيلة صفحة 221 مسألة رقم 12. قال الخميني: لا يجوز وطء الزوجة قبل إكمال 9 سنين دواما كان النكاح أو منقطعا، وأما سائر الاستمتاعات كاللمس بشهوة والضم والتبخير فلا بأس بها حتى في الرضيعة. أعوذ بالله.
Sharia law, what did Muhammad do? And what's going on there is that Ayatollah Khomeini is telling his followers, Ayatollah Khomeini was a scholar in Sharia law, and he was telling, hey, since Muhammad did it with 6-year-old Aisha, he masturbated between her thighs. It's called thigh, and we got all the proof, evidence, and facts I showed on the internet all the time in Arabic and English. It's all right there. That is what did Muhammad do is the basis for their ethics or axiological decisions on why they do what they do. Metaphysically, if you look at the cosmology, the ontology, the epistemology, and the axiology of what comprises the common law of Islam, it's all based on what did Muhammad do. What you saw there, having sex with a 4-year-old girl is okay in Islam, in their statutory law, in their behavior, in their ethics. It's through the whole ummah, the whole body of believers. That is what did Muhammad do. It is not interfaith. Interfaith is used to spread that lie. Clip number 4, clip number 4.
After sweeping into Iraq in June and taking control of Mosul and Tikrit, the Islamic State, or IS, seized powerful weapons and military vehicles provided to the Iraqi army by the US. Almost immediately, many of these weapons were transported.
Okay, so we have learned since then, we know what did Muhammad do, and using the little kids like that, they do that. And we know in Iran and Iraq, when they had their big war, they used little boys all the time to become human minesweepers. In Iraq and Afghanistan against our military, little boys would go out with their cell phones and call their dad and their big brothers and say, hey, the military, the American military is leaving, come and kill them, blow them up. Okay, inside Al Shabaab, inside Al Shabaab. Inside what's happening in Al Shabaab is, that's the guys of Somalia in northeast Africa. It's happening in Al Qaeda. It's happening in ISIS. It's happening in the Taliban. It's happening in Abu Sayyaf. in the Philippines. It's happening with the Uyghurs in China. It's happening with the Amirs of the Caucasus in Europe. It's happening here in the United States and Canada and Mexico. It's all over the place. In fact, we will get to it very quickly that following all of the mosques in the United States, all the mosques, in my opinion, in my study, and I believe I can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there are elements of nasty terrorism, ISIS-type people who believe in raping little girls who are 4 years old, like Ayatollah Khomeini, who will kill you, murder you, behead you, they will destroy you, following Surah 860, the logo of the Muslim Brotherhood, to wage war, jihad, and terrorize the infidels. They are not telling the truth. These mosques will come back, and they will say they're advancing peace through interfaith harmony, but in truth, these mosques in America are all doing the same very identical thing as Al Shabaab, and they're all fundraising, and they're all working together to get the money so that they can attack what they used to do here. There we got Italy right there, and Greece and Spain and North Africa, the Mediterranean, what they were doing back then. Now they're doing, right now, terrorism through tacos. You got here a taco guy, and he's doing halal tacos, which would be like kosher for the Jewish people, halal. And all these women here down at Rosarita Beach, just south of San Diego, are eating this. Now, they're taking this money, they're stripping 2.5% of this money called Zakat. They're taking this Zakat, and they're funding suicide bombers, murder, stealing, all of the things that Al Shabaab, all these guys are doing. And that is going on inside 100% of the mosques in the United States. Can I prove that? Yep, I can prove that. I've been to a number of them. We have all the stuff that we need to know, advancing peace through interfaith harmony. This is merely a way how to set the stage and bring in, mobilize the people, and to attack, like they did here, all of the Muslims coming up here into Europe. Now, today, what they do, this used to be a moat, and the people of Christendom, the domain of Christ, Europe, used to fight big giant battles, the Battle of Lepanto and things of that nature, to stop the Muslims from coming in and murdering and raping. But now, through the cleverness of the Saudi Arabians, they're advancing peace through interfaith harmony. Peace for them means they're in charge. They can rape you, murder you, kill you, whatever you do. Now, the Democrats, working in conjunction with this young man and others, selling tacos, halal tacos, Sharia-compliant tacos. And in here, you have, following these people, you have terrorists. We don't know. He probably is a terrorist. He's probably taken, in fact, I'm sure, he's taken and he's funding terrorism by the money he collects. He sends it in, called Zakat, and it's alms for the poor. And, of course, alms for the poor for them means it's families of the survivors of the suicide bomb. Here you have halal from Kentucky Fried Chicken and McDonald's. They're both doing the same thing, halal chicken, and this money that's coming through from selling halal chicken in Europe and the United States, McDonald's, whatever. They're stripping 2.5% of that, and then they're funding people. They're working with the drug cartels globally, internationally, everywhere. And what are they doing? They're stripping that money, that Zakat, which is alms to the poor, 2.5%. Sinaloa, Los Zetas, all of the drug cartels in South America, Mexico, all over the world, working together with the Muslims, the Muslim Brotherhood, and they're all lying. They're all saying that they're all advancing peace through interfaith and harmony. But we know different, because in every one of the mosques in the United States, funded by the Saudi Arabians, they're doing all this stuff, and then the money is going back to Al Shabaab to kill people. Clip number 14. Clip number 14. No 14, no 14. Okay, so we're doing good. Everything's going good. We're fighting. We're understanding what's going on. Let us take a look at clip number 6. Clip number 6.
The Muslim Brotherhood, is an organization, a politically active motivation. I'm sure it does exist here in a different form. I think that one of the benefits of what we do in terms of dealing with the motivational aspects of terrorism is to outreach and engage with the community so they don't feel isolated, balkanized, oppressed, and besieged. And our biggest counterterrorism strategy in this community is the partnership that we have with the Muslim communities.
The Brotherhood's very active in this county.
I know the Brotherhood is, but see, one of the responsibilities for us to see, there's different views about the Brotherhood. You know, Albana, who created it, his idea is different than some of the people that are on the fringe of it here. Just like Republicans and Democrats are more conservative and more liberal, that's what we have here. But the message is not to demonize the Brotherhood here, but to create
not to demonize
the Brotherhood, but and we don't necessarily engage.
That's a counterterrorism commander for the Los Angeles Police Department. I was standing right there when that video was made, and his name is Michael Downing. In my opinion, he's a complete fool. He is sold out. He's bought into this insanity of advancing peace through interfaith harmony. I know for a fact that he's a member of that, and I know for a fact that he goes into the mosques of America, and you just saw him right there saying, don't demonize the Muslim Brotherhood. Well, this is the Muslim Brotherhood outside of the United States. That's Al Shabaab. That is the Muslim Brotherhood outside the United States. Inside the United States and the West, in Europe, they're all lying, advancing peace through interfaith harmony. It's all baloney. It's lying. It's the 4 words of how to lie in Islam is taqiyya, kitman, maruna, and it's tawriya, how to lie. That buffoon up there, and I'm going to call him a fool. I was standing right there. I have read many articles. I've seen him up there eulogizing Muslim Brotherhood leader, one of the key leaders who brought the Muslim Brotherhood into the United States, a guy named Maher Hadhoud, dangerous as hell, lying, and he was a huge player in lying about advancing peace through interfaith harmony here in the United States, which this is how the Muslims do it when they're in charge. When they're not in charge, they do it like that buffoon, Michael Downing. Now, here's the Muslim Brotherhood in Rosarita Beach. He's selling halal tacos. They're taking this money here, and they're funding these people over in Africa and all the terrorists all over the world. And they're operating and doing that through the mosques in America, and they're doing it through McDonald's halal chicken, and they're doing it through Kentucky Fried Chicken, who succumbed to that too. The silliness of the lying that goes on. Here are the Janissaries. Most of you don't know what the Janissaries are. What happened with the Janissaries back when the Ottoman Empire was at its zenith, the Ottoman Muslims in today what is Kosovo, Albania, and Bosnia, used to be called Yugoslavia, and throughout Europe, Greece, Turkey, all those places, they would attack and they would kill everybody in the village, and they would keep the boys under 12 years old, and then they would beat them and convince them to memorize the Quran and turn them into Muslims. And then these are Christian boys who these Christian villages had been attacked. Their mothers had been raped and their sisters had been raped, their grandmothers, the girls had been raped, kidnapped, kept as sex slaves, and then eventually raped to death. That's what they do. They do that today. We know they do that today. We know they do that today. And here's some of the blarney, some of the baloney. It says the Ottoman Muslims recruited local Christians that converted to Islam, becoming elite guards and administrators called Janissaries. They weren't elite guards. They were elite shock troops who were used to attack their grandparents, their cousins, their aunts and uncles, their friends. They were used on the front lines because they didn't care if they got killed. They were captured by the Ottoman Turks under 12 years old. They were allowed to stay alive. They beat them into memorizing the Quran and becoming little soldiers, frontline soldiers, attacking and destroying their family. That is how Islam works. Part of that also is the battle, the famous Battle of Lepanto, October 7th, 1571, where you had two armies, one, the Holy League of the Christians, fighting against the Ottoman Empire, and it's the same thing. And when you look at it, it all comes back to bona fide and true Islam. What did Muhammad do? Fights like hell, goes out, wages jihad, terrorizes, kills people, turns women, turns wives into widows, turns the children into orphans, wives and widows into orphans. As it says in the Bible, true religion is taking care of widows and orphans. True religion, Islam, is Surah 860, to wage jihad, to terrorize the infidel. In other words, to convert wives into widows and sons and daughters into orphans. That's exactly what they do. Clip number 9. Clip number 9.
An underground, paranoid world. From this office, we came into contact with the French women who sympathize with Daesh, the so-called Islamic State.
May Allah bless you. Sweetheart, Hijra's the woman too. She'll marry and have children. The children will enlarge the Ummah. They'll be the future Mujahideen. They'll spread the word of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Women who can't do that are advised to seek istishahid in France.
So we're right back to inside Al Shabaab, inside Al Shabaab. In Somalia, the murderous Al Qaeda affiliate Al Shabaab is making millions of dollars each year by exploiting foreign aid money. The money that we give to the United Nations, the 57 countries in the United Nations called the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, voting for us, forcing us to send money over to the countries where the Muslim terrorists are. And then Al Shabaab, these guys, they go and set up checkpoints as the people are coming to get their food. Then they steal the food, steal the money, they take it, and they take the food and the money to buy weapons and kill the people and spread Islam. So through the United Nations, and we have all the proof, evidence, and facts, we have all the proof, evidence, and facts, funding Al Shabaab, how aid money ends up in terrorist group hands, right there. Funding Al Shabaab, how aid money to the United Nations ends up in a terror group's hands. We know that. It's been going on. It's been going on for years and years and years. Al Shabaab making millions of dollars each year by exploiting foreign aid money sent to Somalia by the very Western nations who are trying to eliminate the terrorist group. That's what happens. You're trying to eliminate the terrorist group, but you have the GOP and the Democrats all working together thinking, oh man, if we just advance peace through interfaith harmony, if we just advance peace through interfaith harmony, then they wouldn't be killing and wiping out people. So let's give money to the United Nations and send the money and the food over to the people of Somalia and Nigeria and all these other places. And then the Muslim terrorists, the Fulani and the Boko Haram and the Al Shabaab, they all come and take the money and use the money that we give the United Nations. We, you and me, give in our taxes, goes to the United Nations, and then the United Nations voted through by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the 57 Muslim countries in the world, they spread jihad, wage war, and terrorize the infidels, Surah 860. A CNN investigation has revealed how money given directly by the United Nations to people displaced by conflict and famine is ending up in the hands of Africa's oldest terrorist organization. It's out of control. Former members of Al Shabaab and Somali intelligence agents said the terror group is extorting thousands of dollars each day through roadblocks and taxes on merchants attempting to transport food and supplies to sell to internally displaced people in towns where they are concentrated. And we in America are so dumb, like that counterterrorism commander, Michael Downing, think, oh yeah, don't demonize the Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah, they've evolved. They become wonderful and great. You know, it's like the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. And he's advancing peace through interfaith harmony. Baloney. What he's doing is he's helping send money, Zakat, and everything else by these guys selling the tacos and everything. And then they take the money and use it, and then they kill everybody. This is going on all over the world. All over the world. So that's exactly why I do this television show. That's why I'm keeping all of these, archiving these, because I know right now people are laughing at me. I know I'm a laughing stock. I know they think I'm crazy and a lunatic. And they all think that the counterterrorism commander, Michael Downing in Los Angeles, is so smart. But through his stupidity, he is advancing. He's advancing not peace. He's advancing war through the interfaith, and he is not advancing harmony. He is advancing this, and this will hit the streets of the United States by the year 2030. Good night, goodbye, adios.